Hello everyone, welcome to the yarn bowl. Today in this video we are going to see how to crochet this two cute headband. One is infant size, the other one is child size, and I'll give you the measurements for you to work for different sizes. The written pattern of this headband is available in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Meanwhile, if you are new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the yarn bowl and click on the bell icon as well so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So for this project I'll be using basic stitch yarn. It's a size 4 yarn, and the color of this skein is white, and I will use the same brand yarn in color raspberry, and we'll need sequined ribbons, stitch markers, scissors, and I'll be using 5mm crochet hook. So let's go ahead, start the infant size first. So I'm going to use my 5mm crochet hook, and I'll be using the white yarn here, and go ahead, work 40 chains, and then once you're done making 40 chains, make sure that your chain is not twisted, and then slip stitch onto your first chain. So I've worked 40 chains here. Now I'm going to make sure my work is not twisted, and then I'm going to slip stitch to my starting chain. So I'm going to work a slip stitch, and then we'll go ahead, work row 2. I'm going to chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and then I'm going to find my back bump, that is my third loop, where I'm going to pick that up, and then I'll be working a single crochet, and then I'm going to work one single crochet on the back loop, the back bump, that is the third loop of each chains. So I'm going to pick up my third loop on each chains, and then I will work one single crochet on that third loop. So this, by working like this, we have this uniform, the V's that are created at the bottom. So we are going to pick up the third loop of each chain, and then we are going to work one single crochet on it. So go ahead, work one single crochet on the third loop of each chain around. So, and then we will work a slip stitch onto your starting single crochet to close this row 2. So go ahead, work one single crochet on the third loop of each chain around. I'll meet you at the end of this row. So just make sure you mark your first single crochet stitch using a stitch marker, so that you don't get this stitch lost, or you don't mistake the single crochet or any other stitch as your first single crochet. So it's always better to mark your first stitch using a stitch marker. So I'm at the end of row 2. I'm going to work a slip stitch onto my starting single crochet to close this row 2, and then we can proceed with row 3. From row 3 to row 7, we are just going to repeat the same step. So I worked a chain 1, which is not considered as a stitch, and then I will work one single crochet on the back loop of each stitch around. So you can see there is front loop and back loop. So then I'll just go ahead, mark my first stitch using a stitch marker. So I'm just going to pick up the back loop of each stitch, and then work one single crochet on each stitch around. So you see the V's which has a front and back loop. So I'm just going to pick up the back loop of each stitch and then I will work one single crochet around. So go ahead, work one back loop single crochet on each stitch around, and then we will work a slip stitch onto our starting single crochet to close this row. And at the end of each row we will have 39 stitches. So go ahead, work one single crochet on the back loop of each stitch around, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. So I'm at the end of this row. I'm going to work a slip stitch onto my starting single crochet and then proceed with row 4. So row 4 is again we are going to do the same thing that we did in row 3. So I'm going to work a chain 1 which does not count as a stitch, and then I'll be working a single crochet on the back loop of the same stitch, and then I will work one back loop single crochet on each stitch around and work a slip stitch onto our starting single crochet to close this row 4. So I'm at the end of row 4, so I'm going to work a slip stitch onto my starting single crochet. So this, with this our row 4 is complete. So as I told you earlier, we are just going to repeat the same steps until row 7. So for infant size, 7 rows is sufficient, and so we are going to repeat the same steps around, so until we reach row 7. So go ahead, repeat this steps until we reach row 7. So this is such a simple and easy pattern, gives a nice texture to your work. So go ahead, repeat the same step until we reach row 7. I'll meet you at the end of row 7. So now we are at the end of row 7. As usual, I'm going to work a slip stitch onto our starting single crochet, and then I'll fasten off and weave the ends. So this stitch is very nice, elastic, and has a very nice texture to it. So I'm just fastening off my yarn, and then I will weave my ends. So once the ends are weaved, I am going to take this pink color sequined ribbon, and then I have cut it to the length of 3 inches. So before that, we'll measure the length of our infant size headband. So it roughly measures about 5.5 inches. So which on total comes around 11 inches, which is sufficient for infant size. And then this pink sequined ribbon measures to 3 inches. So I'm going to just roll it around like that around the headband, and then I will use a glue gun to glue this two ends of this sequined ribbon. So that's it, our cute infant size headband is ready. Such a simple and easy pattern. try this. And next we'll move to the child size. So it's a pretty much the same pattern, only thing is we add one more row extra, and the foundation row we add more chains. So for row 1 I'm going to work 55 chains. So go ahead, work 55 chains. So now we have worked 55 chains. I'm going to make sure my work is not twisted, and then I will work a slip stitch onto my starting chain to form a ring. And then once this is done, we can proceed with row 2. So I'm working a slip stitch now. So for row 2 I'm going to work a chain 1, and then I will pick up the back bump of that chain, and then I will work 1 single crochet, and then going forward we are going to pick up the back bump of each chain, and then I will work 1 single crochet around. So go ahead, pick up the back bump of each chain and work 1 single crochet around, and work a slip stitch onto the starting single crochet to close this row 2. So go ahead, work 1 single crochet on the back bump of each chain around. I'll meet you at the end of this row. So now row 2 is complete. In the same way as we have done for the infant size headband, we are going to repeat the same steps again, but we'll add one more row to child size headband. So I'm going to work a chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and then I will pick up the back loop of each stitch, and I will work 1 single crochet on back loop of each stitch around, and then I will work a slip stitch on top of starting single crochet to close this row. So we are going to repeat this row until we reach row number 8. So it's the same way, only the base count chains, that is foundation chains, and the row count is different, but rest everything is going to be the same. So I'm going to work 1 single crochet on the back bump of each stitch around, then work a slip stitch onto the on top of starting single crochet. So we are going to repeat this row until we reach row 8. So go ahead, repeat this pattern around. I'll meet you at the end of row 8. So we are at the end of row 8. I'm going to work a slip stitch onto the starting single crochet, and then I'll fasten off and weave my ends. So let me measure the child size headband here. So this one side measures about 8.5 inches approximately, and on the whole it's gonna be 17 inches. So it's going to be 17 inches, which is ideal for a child size headband. So this is the I'll also add in the size chart at the end of this video, so that you can adjust the headband according to the size you're working. In the same way we've done before, I've cut the sequined ribbons for about 3 inches, and then I'm going to roll it around and secure it with the glue gun. So this is the headband size for different age groups. You can just work your foundation chain based on these measurements for different sizes that you may need. So the one that we have worked now in this video is for child and infant size. By following the chart that I attached in this video, you can work different sizes as well. Such a simple, easy pattern, and the texture of this is very nice. It's reversible. Inside it looks like knitting pearl stitch, and I hope you enjoyed this video. The written pattern of this headband is available in my website, theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.